Hello everyone, my name is Insia.
And my name is Nastaran.
And our topic is a glimpse into the U.S. modern education system's inequalities. We conducted a survey about the study of the impact of the access to electricity in the Native American reserve lands. So you'd be thinking that how we came about this topic. So that all happened 5 weeks ago. I live in Minnesota where it was raining a lot at the time, and I thought I had to submit this really important assignment for science. And I thought that what about people who don't even have electricity at their homes? And obviously these people are more Native American reservations that we all know about are the most, they don't have much resources. So that's how we came about. And I talked to my partner Nastaran about this, and she also agreed, and then we should do a presentation more about this and relate it to this. So a little 101 on Native American education system. Let's go back all the way and how it all started. We all know that Native Americans were the original inhabitants of America, and hence the name Native Americans. Natives lived peacefully in America for thousands of years until 1492, when the Columbus voyages happened, Spanish Crusades leading to all the diseases like smallpox and stuff, like wiping out all thousands of millions of Native Americans, accompanied by genocide, mass genocides in America done by Europeans and conquerors. Now we know that there are only 5 million of these people left, Native Americans left, from the original 112 million in 1492. Some facts about Native Americans right now and the inequalities are that about 17% of Native Americans continue their education after high school compared to 60% of the US population. Undergraduate enrollment among Native American aged 18 to 24 decreased from 128,000 to in 2017 to 124,000 in 2018. The Native Center of Education statistics confirmed that 14% of Native American reservations have no access to electricity. This is 10 times higher than the national average. I can go on and on about these facts, but today in this presentation will learn more about detailed explanation on why it is this way. In the survey we conducted, we asked about 40 people randomly all across America, and these are mostly students aged 16 to 24 who answered these questions. One of the questions was, what do you think is the most important factor when it comes to education in today's day and age? Mostly people, about 74% said mental health, and 58% said high-speed electricity, or internet, sorry. When you think about that, most Native Americans don't even have such accessibilities like a counselor for mental health or high-speed internet. And these, especially in coronavirus, we all are working online, and it's just weird to think. I'm not weird, but we can't even think how these people are studying in this way, like without high-speed internet. Another question we asked is, how would you rank your average accessibility to Wi-Fi and internet at the school institution you have attended in the US? So about in scale from 1 to 5, 1 being totally awful and 5 being really good, about most people said from 5 people ranked 5. Sorry, I'll say that again. 46% people said 5, and about 41% people said 4, which is considerably really high in comparison to Native Americans. That would be around 1 to 2. So that's pretty high considerably. So let's take a closer look into all of this. We will be showing you guys a YouTube video about a Native American studying at a Native American school and all the hardships she deals with.
And just to chime in, her name is Jessie Bebo.
To social studies class, she brings her books and a blanket. Does it get cold in this building?
Yes. We can't see the video. So.
Oh, let's see. Oh, can you wait? Let's see. Share. Okay. How about now? Can you see it?
Yes, we can see it now.
Okay, I guess the problem is that we cannot see it full screen. Sorry about that. Okay.
Bo goes to social studies class. She brings her books and a blanket. Does it get cold in this building?
Yes, very cold.
How cold?
Shivering cold.
Buganagishiq High School is made of tin, offering little insulation. Its leaky roof has collapsed under snow. It needs repairs, like 1/3 of the 183 federally funded schools for Native Americans, even though $844 million taxpayer dollars went to the schools last year. But it's not just the buildings that are broken. Fourth graders at BIE schools scored 22 points lower in reading and 14 points lower in math than Native American students at other public schools. And BIE schools have the nation's lowest graduation rate, 53%, compared to 67% of Native American students at non-BIE schools. The national graduation rate is 80%.
This originally was a bus garage. So, and we've made it into a school.
Crystal Redgrave is Buganagishiq's superintendent. Does your high school have a science lab?
No,
Does your high school have modern computers?
no,
Does your high school have a gym?
no.
Do you feel like your high school is on par with public schools in the area?
Absolutely not.
At a North Dakota reservation last summer, President Obama said he's committed to Native American youth.
Our country has a place for everyone, including every single young person here.
Their education is the responsibility of Secretary of Interior Sally Jewell. She oversees the Bureau of Indian Education. She says she's reorganizing the department to make it more efficient.
We really have never served Indian children well, and that's not okay.
Last year, Jewell was able to get $954,000 from Congress for school repairs, but that's less than 1% of the estimated $1 billion needed. This year, $19 million will go to school construction.
So hopefully this video basically gave you guys a better idea about the points that Insia was mentioning in the previous slides. So let's just go back to the PowerPoint that we were sharing. And, okay. And can you guys see this?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so thank you again, Insia, for the wonderful information that you provided. So after you guys had a better sense of education inequality for Native Americans, that is one of the resultants of inaccessibility to the electricity and natural resources, let's just see how that reality basically is gonna unfold for these people. So for me personally, one of the questions that came up to my mind was that can really access to electricity impact the quality of education and outcome of the lives of these people in long and short term? And honestly, it was unimaginable to even think about the scale of this problem. So we basically found out a map from US Energy Mapping System, as you can see on your right side. And in this image, basically, it is a satellite image of the Navajo Nation, which with arrow, you can see it's like in the middle. And the other dots around it basically shows the near power planets or power systems. And as you can see, there aren't any close proximity solar panels or electricity panels or basically anything that we see in a city or suburb areas around us, which is super unfortunate because these areas and the lands that people are living at basically has tons of mines and tons of energy resources that they can use, but unfortunately it is used to basically provide energy for the other areas. And on your left, this is basically from a research at the Harvard University, and the title was Kids Born Poor Have Almost No Chance at Achieving the American Dream. And I'm just putting this in code because basically Native Americans, they have been born and raised in the state. So it is not like they were immigrants or any people like foreigners. But as you can see on the map, the areas that has been dark red or like even dark orange color, they are the areas that they are mostly populated with Native Americans or people of the minorities. And for most people, according to this map from Vice News, they have less chance to basically reach their full potential. And that is really sad, to be honest. And on the next slide, basically, as we were doing our research, we came across a very, very touching story from someone called Carol Big Thumb. And just to give you a side note, she's basically a 57-year-old that lives in Arizona. But then this story was so touching. And as you basically heard from the news that we showed in the video, still people are struggling. So as for her background, she grew up in Arizona, and basically her family didn't have access to any kind of electricity, running water, or even television or internet. And then the first time that she basically got access to modern technologies, I call them modern because it is like new things for them, was when she basically went to high school and after that to community college. And this is a straight quote that we got from Global Catholic Movement 2017. So I'm just gonna read it from there. So it basically says, I didn't know anything about internet, AC, or electricity, but my family got accustomed to our simple life. We learned how to get along without them. And I cannot even imagine how hard life has been for her and her family. And so at this point, you would be like, okay, so what is the point of saying all these things? Because, you know, at the end, they would have like the same quality of life when they start college and in the long term. And if you're having that mindset, I can say you're wrong, because this is a research from the National Education System. And according to them, almost all isolated rural schools in US have been struggling to attract qualified teachers and principals, and Native Americans reserved areas are basically one part of those areas. And then the problem is that when you don't have a proper education system, as we discussed it in either week 6 or 7, the quality of education and the outcome for students is going to be lower, and then the expectations as a result is going to become lower. So these students are going to struggle in a long term financially and educationally and socially. Okay, so for the next chapter of our presentation, we called it Aftermath of Inequality. So imagine that inaccessibility to electricity is basically caused a negative loop cycle for these people, meaning that when they don't have electricity, they're not going to be able to attract lots of educated people to their areas so that their education system can grow. As a result, when you basically lose these two critical and impactful things in the cycle, you're not going to be able to have a better and more fulfilled life in the long term. And just to give you a better idea, some of the long and short-term impacts of this inequality is increased rate of addictions, increased rate of gambling, which for like as a hobby is okay, but if you basically do it consistently over a long period, it is counted as sort of an addiction. And right now that we are sort of during the pandemic with the COVID-19, in the news, they basically call it as a genocide for the Navajo nations or even all the other reserved areas. And the reason is because they don't have access to lots of modern technologies that we have right now in our cities and our homes. And that's really unfortunate. So just to show you some of the statistics of the results that we find online, basically based on the American National Addiction website, the rate of substance abuse among Native Americans is much, much higher than the US population in general. And as a result, the rate of incarceration for these people, meaning basically the times that they're gonna visit prison in their life for males, are going to be way higher than the average Americans. And as a result, you know that when you have a record on your, for going to the prison, your chances of getting a better job and providing a better opportunity for your family is going to be way, way higher than other people. And another thing that was mentioned in the video, and Insia talked about it, is that for most of the Native American students, since they do not have access to proper education system and proper basically research areas, their scores on the national average testing is going to be way lower, and they run it for grade 8. And also they're going to have problem with their reading and writing, and this is a topic that we basically discussed during the program on week 2, which was about the financial inequality in different areas. And as you can see, this negative loop cycle that has started with inaccessibility to electricity, it's just gonna show its impact in like different sectors of the society. And lastly, the rate of unemployment, according to the data from Current Population Survey, CPC, was higher than the national average, which for national average is about 3.9%. And as a result, you can see that electricity have such a high impact on the lives of people in general. And yeah, so going back to Insia.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the sad facts, and now let's just move on to the more facts that make us more optimistic for these people. Let's start with solar panels. So Suzanne Singer and Wally Johns in 2016 started an organization called Native Renewable to help bring power to homes through renewable energy systems on the Hopi Reservation and the Navajo Nation. The project also works to train a local workforce to build, maintain, and manage renewable energy systems. Suzanne said, with the possibility of reliable electricity, we want to improve living standards, allowing students to be able to do their homework at night and increasing productivity of all family members. The Average Student Succeed Act was signed by Barack Obama in 2015, December 10th, 2015, and it provides states with the opportunity to improve Native American educational outcomes. The provisions include mandated tribal consultations, cooperative agreements, permanence of the state tribal education partnership, and increased opportunity to institute native language immersion programs. Many institutions, organizations, and universities have been consistently sending physicians to Native American reservations, especially during the pandemic, where in these Native American reservations there is a high spike in COVID, so the physicians have really helped in decreasing the spike. Can you go back, please?
Oh yes, sorry.
In our survey, we asked, what do you think is the best way to reduce educational inequality in Native reservations caused by lack of resources? So about 50% people said better funding by the government, and 31.6% people said more awareness. So clearly, you can say that better funding by the government, by most people and students, think that this is the best way. And so ESSA is a great act that will help in the future to improve conditions for students, Native American students. The Zero Mass project, the Zero Mass water source has hydro panels, and they're using sunlight to absorb water vapor to form from the air. The project is providing portable air to houses in the Navajo Nation, which really need water, especially because 30% of Navajo families still don't have tap water or toilet water at home. And so the Navajo Water Project has taken and has raised about $1 million to bring running water and solar power to 230 plus families in Navajo reservations. This is our We're Excited. And thank you for your time. If you have any questions, please make sure to shoot us an email. The emails are provided here. And yeah, this is all for today. Thank you for joining us, and until next time. Bye.
Bye.